Hey, you guys, this is your girl, Coach Ebony Nicole, the Vice President of the Rochester Black Authors Association, and we are here again. I'm so excited. As always, I know y'all probably like, you cannot be this excited, Coach. I am because I love interviewing authors. I love that we are doing more than just writing books. Businesses are being built, platforms are expanding, everything is happening from just one book that these authors have done. So, before we proceed, as always, I want you to click on the bell so that you can subscribe to the Rochester Black Authors Association. I also want you to follow us on Facebook at RockBAA2015, as well as on Instagram, Rock_BAA. Follow us, keep in contact with us and everything that we are doing now and later so that so you'll be in the know. We'll just say that. So you are in the know of what's going on with us. That's all I got for y'all. We're done. See y'all later. No. But I want to this woman here is just going to bless y'all so much. Okay. She's an author, but again, she is much more than that. So, Dr. Sheila, I want you to tell the people who you are and where you're from.
Hello, thank you so much, Ebony, for allowing me to grace your platform. I love your energy. Yes. So, yes, my name is Dr. Sheila Thomas, and I'm from a little town in Georgia called Valdosta, Georgia, by way of Albany, Georgia. I'm originally from Albany, but now I reside in Valdosta, Georgia. You may have heard of us. We're called the Title Town because our football teams for both of our schools have won national championship. So, yeah, you may have heard of us. Lowndes County High School and Valdosta City High School.
Okay, come on here, titles. Because I was like, wait, this small. I heard Albany, Georgia before, but I've
Mm-hmm.
never heard of this town that you're in now. So,
Valdosta. Mm-hmm.
hey, Valdosta, all the
Yeah,
way
go
from
to
Rochester.
I have I know some people in Rochester. Actually go to Netflix and you can see there's a little series about our high school, Valdosta High School on Netflix. So yeah,
Really?
yes,
Look at y'all out
ma'am.
here trying to. Okay,
Yeah,
come on
yeah, 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 yeah. We're small, but we do big things,
now. That's
especially in
right.
football. Yes, yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not mad at that. So, give me small but big things. Let
Yes,
us know, when did you become a published author? Because I see you have some books over here on the side. I'm looking at four children's
yes.
books, if I'm not mistaken.
Three children and one for women.
Oh,
Yes.
well, come on here. It's happening to different genres.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
when
So,
did you become an author?
well, listen, you know what? I'm going to say I became an author 30 something years ago when I first wrote my book for a college course I was taking when I was at the Albany State University,
Mhm.
HBCU in Albany. I wrote my first little book for a class there. And so, of course, it wasn't published, it was part of an assignment. But I
Mhm.
said from that day forward, I will be a published author. So,
Wow.
2019 came and of course COVID. And so, and I retire. All of that happened around the same time. So I said, okay, now it's time. We're
Hmm.
home. There's not a
Yep.
lot going on. I already had my binder full of thoughts and ideas and my, manuscripts. It's time to put in the work. So
Yes.
I began with my first book, which is the one you see here in the background, JR's biggest fan. I published it first.
Because
And this book, I adore. Of course, I adore it because it's my
it's
book.
the first, right?
But
Yeah, it is your book.
but let me tell you why I adore it so much. It is a book about my sons. So, yes, I'm a mother of three sons, and I wrote it as a dedication to my sons. I've always supported them in everything they did. And if they were not successful, I always had this affirmation, son, never give up. Yes, you can. I always be your biggest fan. So, in
Aww.
this little story, the boy, his name is JR, he was trying different things in the story, spelling bee, playing basketball, just different things, and he wasn't successful. But whenever he failed, his mom would repeat that affirmation till at the end of the story, he found something that he could do. I don't know if you could see it, but he sounds something. Yeah,
Is he
he's playing.
hugging people?
No, playing in the band.
Oh,
Playing
playing the
in the
band. Okay, because the lighting was just taking it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was. Yeah,
Aw,
he
come
plays
on,
in the band.
JR.
And this is a true story. My sons do play in the band. But well, my oldest did, and now my youngest, he plays in the high school band. So it's a true story. They found something they could do and being a supportive mama. So I wrote it, of course for myself, but I
Yeah.
also wrote it for other parents to see this is how you support your children in any endeavor that they participate in. And it has really resonated with so many people. So that was my first book in 2019 when I published this book, and
Mm-hmm.
and that same year I came
You
through.
did two in 1 year?
Girls, yes,
You
yes,
out here showing
ma'am.
out. You out here showing
Yes,
out.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, God is amazing. He is
He
amazing.
is.
So, and I'm sorry, that's 2020. So in 2020, 2019 was when, COVID started. So in 2020, also this book came out. It's called Wait, Women Anticipating Incredible Turnaround. And this
Oh.
story I penned this story 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a story about my life and different things I went through, my career, finances, marriage, just different things that I wore a mask that
Yeah.
everything was perfect and that everything was fine. But honey, in here, I tell the story. I tell the story about how I sat in the waiting room with God, prayed and read scriptures, and He gave my
Oh.
life an incredible turnaround. And people read that, like, girl, you telling your business. I said, but people need to hear that. So they
Yes.
too can get in touch with God and get an incredible turnaround as well. And when I tell everyone, no, that doesn't mean my life is perfect, but I know how to handle situations now. When I sign it, I always sign it with the words, don't give up on God, wait for your incredible turnaround. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, I mean, it took me 15 years to write it. My husband will always say, you need to write your book. You need to write your book. I say, not yet. Not yet. It's not time to tell the story.
So what
So
I want to
go
ask,
ahead.
you were waiting, it was 15 years in the wait for you to write your book.
Hmm.
What were you specifically waiting on? And I asked that because a lot of people will say, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right time. Well, what is the right time for you? Of course, may be different for others, but what were you waiting on? What had to happen? What had to line up in order for you to say, now's the time that I write and release my book?
My thought processes. I was at
Mm,
a place where I was in a better place mentally, and not saying I was really going through anything like depression or any mental
yeah,
issues. And nothing's wrong with that. So, not trying to say anything's bad with that.
absolutely.
But where I was okay. I was in the classroom. I was teaching. I had been through this job and that job, and that's part of the story in here. But once I came to a place of contentment, I guess that's what I want to say. When my mindset changed, where I was content, and I could
Yeah,
write about it. I could write about, okay, this is where he wants me to be.
yeah.
This is why he put me through all these trials and tribulations. Let me tell people about it now because I'm in a good place now. Honey, I'm in a state of peace that some people don't even understand. God
That
has
peace that
given me a
surpasses all understanding.
all understanding. I'm dear. I'm dear, And so it took to get it to that place, a place of wisdom, understanding, and peace, to be prepared to write the book. And there were some stories that still needed to be told. And I had started writing the story, but of course, of the span of 15 years, there were some things that were added, some things taken
Yeah.
away, some things that built upon the stories that I had already written. So it was more needed to be added to the story. So that's why it took so long.
So, what would you say you had to get in a place of peace, a place of contentment? How did you do that as an author? Because you have all of these, you did it once with your first book. That was just based on, encouraging your sons, letting them know you can do it. I'm your biggest fan.
Hmm.
So, when it comes to writing your memoir, sharing your life story, you had to be in a place, a center, a contentment. How did you get there? Because I would say sometimes as a coach, writing coach, I find it, I would tell my clients, hey, just write your memoir, do this. What's the hold up? And we would talk about things that they were going through emotionally because it's an emotional, you know, process as
Hmm.
well. And it
Hmm.
wasn't until I started writing my own that I'm like, oh my God, this is not easy.
Yeah.
And I had to apologize to my clients, like, I'm sorry if I ever
Yeah.
told you just write the book, because
Yeah.
that is not possible. So for you, what was it that you had to get everything, being content and to get to that space mentally to write? How did you get there? You had to get there, but how did you get there?
Well, I had to be ready to tell my story. I had to be ready to share it with the world because, like I say, I'm very transparent in here, very, very transparent. And I knew that, there may be some people looking like, "Ooh, that happened
Ooh,
to
she
her."
did what?
Girl, she did that.
Yep.
I knew it. I knew it. She walked around here like this and that, but all about look at her. And that's why I wrote it. Because I wanted them to say, I
Yep.
had this mask on. I was this Dr. Sheila Thomas. Hey, hey, this and that, got it all together, dressed to the nines.
Yeah, I
Girl,
know.
get yourself together. So I wanted to share it with the world. Get real, be transparent, open your heart, and be able to serve other people. So this book, like I say, is written also to serve other women so they can understand who they are and whose they are. Okay.
Yes, come on.
Okay.
I
So,
love
and
that.
thank you. So that's why I wrote that book. I really, and I mean, the story hasn't ended. There's so many other chapters that should have been added to this book. So it's more to come because there's always so many things that are happening. I think about, oh, I could have talked about this. So there'll be another edition of Wait. It may have a different title, but yeah, there's more to come.
It's always that moment when you start writing and you're like, I'm gonna share everything. You're like, I'm gonna take it back.
Mhm,
I'm not gonna share
mhm,
that. And you said you found yourself in a place where you were comfortable sharing your story. For some, what would you say for an author who's like, I want to share my story, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for the comments, questions, concerns, and opinions of people who read it. I share that with clients all the time. Hey, if you're not ready for those comments, questions, and concerns, don't share it. How did you prepare yourself, and what would you do? What would you say to others who are preparing themselves as well when it comes to their memoir writing? To be ready and open and to know for real, I'm okay with the questions. Ask me. I'm an open book. I am, because I'm an open book. You can ask me about these things.
And the key word I was going to say, you have to be ready to be open.
Yeah.
You have to be open hearted. You have to be ready and wear that tough skin too,
Yeah.
for the looks or for the whispers or whatever it may be. You have to be prepared for that because, you know who you are. You have to be comfortable with who you are.
Yes.
That's the main thing, and not worry about what people are saying about you. Once you get there, because everyone has those things they're fighting against. Those vices and things they're up against. So once you're ready to share it and tell people how you got over those things that were holding you
Yeah.
back, you should be okay with it. So you
Yeah.
got to find peace within yourself. You have to have a clear mind. Give yourself grace. Okay? Give
Hmm.
yourself grace
We
for
forget
what
that sometimes.
yeah, you have to give yourself grace and say, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through this. Let me tell you what happened, girl. Let me tell you how you can go through it and come out feeling
There you
good
go.
too.
That's it.
Yes. So
I
yeah, give
survived
you
it. You can too.
you
It didn't
can
take me
too.
out, so it's not gonna take you out.
That's it. That's it. And this has helped so many, especially my educated friends who, are teachers and we're walking around here like it's all good and I got so much money in the bank and just broke as a joke. Girl,
Oh no, not the brokenness. Listen, if you are broke, I'm gonna say this personally. For me, being broke in spirit doesn't matter how much money in the bank, you still broke.
right,
You won't find enjoyment in anything.
right.
So you get that spirit corrected in order and let God do the work, and then everything else will make sense.
Put it in his hands.
And
Put it
all
in
the way
his
in his hands.
hands.
And don't be looking
Yeah,
like, you got it, Lord. Let me take it
right,
back. Let me take
right.
I used to
Ooh,
do that. I used to
yeah.
give God stuff and be like, you know what, Lord, on a second thought, I'll hold it, because you can't hold this, Lord.
Listen,
Lord,
right.
you can't handle this.
Oh
You
my
might handle
goodness.
that, but this you can't handle. I got this. And God, like, are
See,
you kidding me right now?
hmm
If you don't give that to me, and stop. You can't even handle it. That's why it's weighing you down. But
Right. Right. And I'm laughing because I have something in draft right now that I was going to post today about giving it to God and how sometimes I'll take
yes,
it back and take it back, cry for a minute and say, okay, I'm done. Because that's the human side of us.
yeah,
But my husband and I we were speaking today about wallowing in it, and about staying there. You gotta get up. You
yes,
gotta
you
get
do.
up. We stay down, and I think that's why we're having so many people in a state of depression because we're not praying enough. My bishop said yesterday we have to pray more, and we have to
Yes,
look at ourselves and open up our heart to receive from God. He
yes.
has it for us. He tells you we're kings and queens. He has so much to give us, but we got to open up ourselves to receive everything He has for us.
That's
He
right.
has a plan for our lives, plan for us to prosper. I believe
Yes,
that's my scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. I know He has a
yes.
plan for me to prosper, and it's my season. But I want it to
That's
be
right.
everyone's season. I want every woman to have their incredible turnaround.
Yes, and that turnaround even starts with just making up your mind and knowing I deserve better.
Yes.
Whatever it is, in every area of your life, your turnaround comes when that moment. I think that there's a proverb that says a journey of a thousand steps begins with the first, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But it also goes back a little further. The journey begins with a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think you can, then you will. If you
Right.
think you can't, then you won't. Either way, you're right.
Yeah. A
But you
journey
just
of a
have to
thousand
think
miles
it.
begins with the first step. You got to take that
Yes, the
first
first
step.
step. You
You
got to
got
take
to
that first
move
step. You
your
got to think
feet.
about it. Because
Uh-huh.
sometimes, even with thinking about it, you can think yourself out of doing it. So,
Yes.
not, there's a fine balance to think and do, and to think and not do.
Right.
So, thinking about, what, I could do this. I could do this. I could
Mm-hmm.
do this. And then by that third, I could do this, you should be actively proceeding
Right.
down
Right.
that path of your journey. So,
Mm-hmm.
for any author out there, you're saying to yourself, you know what? 2019 guy gave me this idea, and I said, you know what? Next year I'm going to do it, which would have been 2020. 2020 comes in, COVID hits, the entire world is literally shook.
Mm-hmm.
Did a 180. Everybody's lives is shook. Okay, we get it. No one can understand. Everybody understands everybody in 2020. But then you still have the idea of the book that God gave you. 2020 ends, 2021 comes in, you said, I'm going to do it this year, which was 2021. You didn't do it. Now it's 2022. This should not be the year that you say, I'm doing it next year. This should be the year that you say, I'm doing it this year. My release date is this date. Y'all come to my website, go to Amazon and grab a copy of my book. Those are things that you should be saying this year. Get into your mind, and everything else will follow. Take that step. Don't worry about all the little things that happen along the way. I so believe that if you move that first step, God's like, oh, now I could take two steps. You
Mm-hmm.
take two, God was like, I can take four. Because by
Mm-hmm.
faith you're moving, and He's already, because you keep moving, then He's already two steps ahead of you, set stuff in place. So you wonder, like, I didn't think I was gonna have the money to publish, but then God said you at this second step, but He's already 2-3 steps ahead, and He's already supplied the funds that you need. But
Right.
just keep going by faith, because every door will be open to you that needs to be opened.
That need, that's it. That needs to be open. The
That
ones
needs to
that
be
He
open.
wants for you. Now we go through
Absolutely.
some doors and He'll tell you, we hear that little devil on that show saying, don't you go in there. But we
Yep.
decide to do that. We have to make the choices, good choices and good decisions. And that's something I, tell my son, making good choices. We as
Yeah.
adults need to make good choices about the things we want to do for our lives. If
Absolutely.
it's a goal that you're wanting, do it.
Yep.
Go out there and do it. Pray about it first, then do it. Execute. This is my
Yes.
year of execution. I've executed already 2020 as well as 2021. But 2022, oh man, oh man. You all eyes have not seen,
No,
ears have not
ears have
heard.
heard. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So move your feet. And I mean, you're right, Ebony. People need to move their feet.
Yeah.
Don't
Just
do
move.
it afraid. Do it
Yep.
afraid.
Just
You
move.
know,
And then
just
when you
move.
when you do stuff afraid, this is my thing. People always say, feel the fear and do it anyways. I get that, but the moment you move forward, you're now walking in faith
Hmm.
because that's what we're supposed to walk by, right? Fear is a fear snares you. It snags you. Fear will not let you move, but faith will.
Yes, it
So the
will.
moment you take that step,
Take that
you are
step.
walking in faith. So hold on. If you're like, oh, I can, and but who's gonna support me? Who's gonna buy my book? And who's gonna do? No, 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 no. Author, get that out of your head. Take that step and move. Walk by faith, because our
Mhm.
faith without works is dead.
It's
We have
dead.
to move. We gotta move. Keep going, authors. Keep going.
Hmm.
Write that first chapter. Go all the way down to the fifth chapter. Go to the sixth chapter. Keep going until it
Hmm.
is done.
Done. Yes.
What would you say to an author who's like already got skin in the game, and they're like, all I do is write books and I want to do something else? What would you say to them to help them build their platform? Because I see you have started your parent program. Was that birthed through your book or?
Not really. I
Okay.
will. So part of who I am, I'm an educator. I've been an educator for over 31 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've taught elementary school from K through 5. I taught at
Aw.
two-year universities, 2-year colleges, chair department, assistant director of a daycare at the local college, and also teaching now at a university here. I love teaching. Can
Wow.
you tell I love
Really, I
teaching?
couldn't tell. That was not even clear.
I love teaching. But when I was working at what we it's called Albany Technical College, it's a 2-year university training grounds, really. And I was assistant director of the daycare as well as working in the early childhood department, charity department. I was also became a state approved trainer and going around the state training daycare providers how to, teach and how to
Yeah.
work with their children. But a thought came, who's training the parents? Who's teaching a parent how to parent?
Oh, wow.
And that thought stayed with me, and that was in 2017. And I could not shake it. I just could not shake it. And so again, it did kind of birth from my books because, like I said, I did this for parents,
Yeah.
and then my spinoff from my other 2 books. Yes, I can. I'll get back to the parent program. Yes, I can. A color book of affirmation for boys.
Aw.
Yeah, and as an educator, we have I can segments in the classroom. This glare is terrible, but it has I can statements for little boys and affirmations when they color. And then I did this book, Mommy's Little Sunshine. Oh my gosh! And if you could see the picture,
Oh, look at
I
it.
know, right?
Oh, baby.
I know, I know, I
Oh,
know. And so I've
goodness.
always wanted to write. I always wanted to support parents. So I
Yeah.
wrote this book, and you could see the colors and the pictures. Very intentional with those. I wanted them to,
Yes.
yeah, look like me.
Yep. Yep. Come
So
on, representation.
right, and so from those books, and the thought came back. Like I said, was always in the back of my mind. Work with parents, work with parents. And so my parent program, I kept, thinking, okay, it's time to execute that.
Yeah.
How can I do it? And so initially, my parent program, and I still do this one, is training parents of Black and brown boys how to advocate for their children, how to create that solid literacy foundation at home.
Yep. Yeah.
Advocate
Yeah.
and this is because as a mother of Black and brown boys, I've seen so much, and as an educator, I know so much.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to share it with parents so when their sons begin preschool, elementary school, they're able to go into that classroom and introduce their son and say, "This is my Eric, that's my son's name. Or this is my James. This is how he learns. These are his behavior styles. These are his learning
Yeah.
styles. This is how he loves learning by moving. He's a kinesthetic learner."
Yeah.
This is the type of parenting style that I've done at home with him. These are the books he likes to read. So I wanted parents to be able to articulate and communicate with the teachers so the teacher would be taken aback and say, oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
that's how I was. And again, it wasn't to be combative. It wasn't to go in there and be aggressive. It was to go in there and set the tone that, hey, it's a partnership. I'm
That's
here
right.
to support you so my son can have a great school year. And then when they called about behavior problems and they say, well, Eric won't sit down. He was moving. Remember, I told you he was a kinesthetic learner. So you need to provide this for my son. So
Yes. Yes.
if I know
Oh,
all
that's
this,
perfect.
yeah, and if I know all this, why
Wow.
not share it with parents? Because our boys are not going from school to prison. You know, that's the thing now, the school to prison pipeline.
Pipeline. Yep.
No,
Yep.
I'm here to dismantle that pipeline
Yes. Yes.
by giving these parents everything that I know. I held a workshop yesterday and it was supposed to be an hour. It was an hour and a half, and we could have went longer because I try to give it all to them. So I do that one for the parents of black and brown boys. So it's kind of niche down. But I also host it for schools. So all parents, because all parents need to build that relationship too. So my parenting program for schools is to bridge the gap between parents and the schools, teaching parents how to be better engaged in their child's
Yes.
environment.
Yes.
So that is the purpose of my parenting program. So I have my parent partner, which is for the schools. Then I have my raising black and brown boys. That's for, parents who look like us.
You know what? I'm about to just mic drop at this point because what sometimes like you said you want to be the bridge, you are bridging between parents and schools. That bridge has been it's rickety. It's if a stiff wind come through, it's just gonna fall apart. I like how you said they called you and said there were some behavioral problems. And remember I said this is a
Yeah,
type of learner. So now it's reminding her or him, the teacher, this is how you handle my child so that he can understand. He's not having behavioral problems. He's this is how he learns. But see, if you don't know that as a parent, then you'll come up to the school screaming at you make sure you sit down and the child like
exactly. You
this
get it.
is and then they want to put kids on medicine. They don't need medicine. They just need
Right,
an environment that
right.
they can thrive in, an
It's
environment them, an environment that's welcoming to them. And like you said, it does start at home because when it starts at home, then it can be expressed to the teacher effectively in a manner which he or she will understand. This is how this child needs to learn. The nurturing the type of environment they need, the child needs to thrive in.
right.
I don't have any children, but so this is new for me, and I think it's going to be useful for when I do have children and have to usher them into schools. Like, okay, how do you learn? Are you a
Right.
visual learner like mommy? I'm a visual.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
see to learn. So yeah, learning those things about your kid
Hmm.
can really help set them up
Hmm.
and get them
For
the
success. Yes.
healthy education that they need, and that will sever that prison prison's pipeline. So
Hmm.
school to prison pipeline. Yeah, look at you out here. Come on now, build that bridge. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
that is awesome.
Building the bridge, and I'm trying
Wow.
to embrace as many people, trying to reach as many people as I can. I
Yeah.
offer the course. I just offered it last night, and it's only $27 right now. Only
Really?
two,
Until that's
yeah.
until some school district picked it up.
Wait, it's $27 per person for the raising brilliant black and brown boys. School system's
Oh,
gonna be a little bit different. Yeah, yeah. The
okay.
prices,
School.
the prices, yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So that should be.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
into that
yeah.
time. Yeah, they
You
got
bring
they
that
got
whole district in there, like, hey, we want all of your parents.
yeah,
Y'all pay for it, we teach them.
that's a different pot of money.
Yep. Listen, dear authors, sidebar, dear authors, as you progress through this journey, there is levels to this.
Hmm.
Make sure you charge for your expertise. The more you know, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you get charged.
Right, right.
You don't have to be a broke author. Okay?
That's right. That's right. And
Part of your
and like,
platform. You
yeah,
learned it.
exactly. And you mentioned, we should have streams of money. We should have streams of money. And that's where I'm at now. I'm like, okay, I want money here, I want money there.
Dreams
And
flow
God,
easily.
and he wants that for us.
Yes.
Because, we're gonna pour back into him. We're pouring
Yep.
back into God and pouring back into our communities. And and I do that. I mean, I'm not just one who's standing here talking. I walk the walk too. My husband and I, we also stored a free little library at the homeless center. And we actually went
Oh.
today. We go once a week, usually when he's off work. It's an old newspaper rack. And we have it filled with books, and my garage is full of books. And we
Yeah.
box up the books and go down there, and we, stash it with some more books. And it's supposed to be where they take a book, give a book. No, just take the books. We don't
That's
here.
right.
Take a book. Take a book. So I'm here to, use the skills and knowledge I have about literacy to train parents to create a literacy environment for their schools. So, as authors, whatever skill set that someone has, they need to spin off from that book. So, my
Yep.
platform of
Yes.
literacy and parent partner, that is my platform. My books come next now. They come
Yes.
next
Yep.
because I know my vision, I know my purpose, I know my plan, and my plan is to take care of parents. And giving your child these affirmations in this book is
Mm-hmm.
part of the program. So that's
And
what
I,
I do.
I think that's perfect how you want to take care of parents because it's always typically about the kids. But if that foundation, which is at home, is firm, is sturdy, it's not rocky, it's not rickety, then when that child launches off, then they are going to launch off from a sturdy platform, a sturdy beginning. And so I think
Mhm.
that's absolutely beautiful that you're helping where it matters first,
Right.
that parent.
That
Because
parent,
the
because the
parent's
parent,
not well, then they can't be beneficial to the children or
they're the
child to
child,
children.
they're the child's. We always say the parent's the child's first teacher. Well,
Yeah.
all parents that go to school to be a teacher. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the story when I had my first son, and I have three sons, but one is my bonus son, my stepson. So when I had my first son, my mom was living, and even though I was married, I went to stay at her house for 3 weeks. I didn't do anything with him. She did all of the diaper changes and cleaning the cord and all of that good stuff. She was, you rest, baby. I was the baby, so 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 she took care of him. When I had my 17-year-old, my mom was deceased.
Yeah.
I brought this baby home. And I was
You
like,
didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do. Now I knew how to read to him. I'm serious. I
That's
didn't.
funny.
I knew how to read to him. He's walking in here now. But I knew how to read to him. I knew, about spending quality time with him. He's going to jump in front of the camera right now.
Hi.
Say hello. This is my baby boy, my 17-year-old. I'm on the Zoom. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. But yeah, so I didn't, know a lot of things to do with him when I brought
Yep.
him on. As for the nurturing, the taking care of him, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say nurture because I knew how to nurture. So think about parents who bring their children home. They not only don't know about the caretaking part,
Yeah.
but also that pedagogical skills that I have about how to read to your children, because it is
Yeah.
a skill. We take a book and we read to our children, but there's a way to read to really engage your children when you read. So I teach
Mm.
parents. I want to teach parents how to do that, how to engage the children, how to create that environment at home for your children where they're excited too about reading. And once you do that and create that solid foundation early, they go off to school, they have this deep desire to learn and like, I want to read a book. I want to read a book. And it makes a difference.
I just have an idea. Maybe you're already doing it or it's in the works. Do you want to teach parents how to read to their children. Have you created a visual course on how to do, like a video based course on how to do that?
Not yet.
Okay, good.
Not
Because
yet.
I see that. I can see you like you are now, without me, of course, but
Uh-huh.
like you are now in teaching parents through video how to do these things.
Right.
Especially because I'm a visual learner, so I would need
Uh-huh.
to hear you and see you do,
Right.
explain how to do these things, right? I think that would be fantastic.
And I shouldn't say not yet, because in the course Raising Black and Brown Boys, I do talk about it, and I do share about reading books and expressiveness. So I do have a course where I talk about culture responsive training. That is for parents as well. I do it for an organization called Black Child Development Institute. So I do show parents there, but I don't have just a standalone course on
Okay.
this is how you read. So yeah, I'll do that. And
Yeah,
you know
that would
what?
be great.
Honestly, I don't even think I'll do it as a course. That is for just something I'll do on YouTube. Just
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah, just because I have a YouTube channel, and I have where I'm out reading books to children. So that is
Yeah.
something I'd say. Check out my YouTube channel. For ideas of how to read to your children. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, authors. Now, she just told you how she had her platform with her parenting, and then her books complements
Mm-hmm.
what she's already doing. Her books complements her expertise. Her book complements her passion. Her book complements her purpose. Your book can do the same.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then she has these courses where she worked with these moms and these dads, these parents, guardians, and her book is something that they can add on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you see how your author's platform can be built?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's watching, nod your head yes, because it can. It can. It's not that when we write our books, and I say this often, writing your book is just the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
this journey. It's just the beginning. You have to find a way to take it and make sure your book has life beyond just those pages. And so there are like Dr. Sheila did. She had her program first, and then she did her books. But some people can write books and then launch a program. However you do it, just make sure you have something that's going to keep you going, keep you pushing. And so you can always implement your books into your platform effortlessly, because you are, depending on the type of book you're writing, even with a children's book, a coloring book, a book for women,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
can use these to help push your passion, your purpose into the stratosphere. You can do that. So authors, again, your book is just the foundation. It's the starting point, or it's the second, it's a complement to what you're already started. So
Mm-hmm.
get it
Yeah,
done,
it's a
y'all.
springboard. It is a
Get
springboard.
it
And
done.
if you have a theme in your book, authors,
Yep.
that's a speaking engagement. If you have a
Thank you.
certain topic, yeah, you go
Yes.
out and speak at churches and schools or wherever. And then once you're finished speaking, and now for sale in the foyer are my books, and I'll be glad to sign my books for you. Yeah, hello.
There you go.
Okay.
Hello,
So, I mean,
somebody.
this is what I do. I email schools. I would love to do a virtual reading to your kids about my book.
Come
And
on,
then,
virtual. Okay, that's where they are now. A lot of schools are
yes,
going back virtual.
yeah, and
Um,
yeah.
out leaving the classroom to go, virtual. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And then they purchase a set of books, some books for the
So
kids.
you do it for free, and then they purchase books, or do you charge and then they purchase books? Because
Yeah, I
it's two
charge.
ways you could do it. So yeah,
Hmm.
okay. So
Hmm.
there's your speaking fee plus the books that they would need.
Right, right, right. Hmm.
Listen, there's levels to this, and there's
Hmm.
ways to navigate
Yeah,
each level.
yeah,
Take note, y'all.
yeah.
Take note.
And schools have money. They
Yes,
have.
they do. You just have to listen. With schools, is so funny. They have hundreds, if not millions of dollars that they need to spend on activities and programs for the students. Find out what they need. Actually,
Mhm.
you know what they can use because you are an author. So you,
Mhm.
like she said, this is my book. Let me use this in your classroom. Let me use this. Let me read this. Let me do this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they pay you because they need to spend the money.
Exactly. They have those Title I funds that they have to spend before the end of the fiscal year.
They have to spend it.
Yes.
Why not you be the one
Right.
they spend it with?
Exactly.
You know, I love being an author,
I do too.
an authorpreneur.
Yes.
We can create one thing and it blossom branches off to something even more.
Mhm.
So authors, let your book, I'm seeing a tree, I'm visualizing a tree, that the book is the root and everything else that comes off of it is a branch.
Yes.
Everything that comes off of it is a branch. So do not break your branches. Do
Mhm.
not let your roots get dry. Keep watering them. Keep moving
Yes.
forward. Keep pressing because you deserve this. So,
Mhm.
Dr. Sheila, we are going to wrap it up, but I want you to leave the authors with a tip that you use on your authorpreneur journey. What's something that keeps you going?
First of all, prayer. Always with prayer. I
Whew,
begin,
in addition, okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. Begin and end my day with prayer. But to be honest, and this is really, really simple, again, my book is about support. It's
Yeah.
about a mom supporting her son. The coloring book was about support. Yes, I can. So I tell all authors or entrepreneurs, authorpreneurs, you must find that person who's going to be your biggest fan. So, and here,
I'm a big
JR's
fan.
biggest fan, I'm the biggest fan for my sons. But my husband is my biggest fan. So
Aw.
he cheers me, he pushes me on. Baby, yes, you got it. Okay. Even getting ready for this interview. Don't you need to go finish getting dressed and do it? I got this. I'll cook this for you. Baby, I'm
Come
proud
on
of you.
here.
You have to find that person. And you be your biggest fan too. You have to encourage yourself and say, okay, I made a mistake. Okay, my editor tore it up this time, but that's okay. I'm gonna press on
It
through.
happens. It's all
Perseverance,
right.
perseverance. That's the key. Perseverance. Don't give up. Don't give up. It took me 7 years to complete my doctoral degree, but guess what? I got it done. I
Hello,
got it done.
somebody.
I cried. I got on the floor. I wallowed. I shut down for a year. But guess what? I got it done. Okay. I have 4 books completed within 2 years and many more that are just sitting in draft. They're sitting there. They're waiting to be birthed and they will be. You have to change your mindset. Yes, I
Yes.
can. I'm never going to give up. I'm not going to quit. Uh-oh, this happened. Okay, it's okay. Let me hold up for a minute, but I'm coming on. Holy Spirit, activate. Let me move forward.
Yes. It's
So
funny.
don't give up and find that support. That is key. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, we cannot walk this journey alone. That's just it. Find your tribe. And even with my journey with my parent course, I found my tribe. I found some people who hold me accountable. I have some friends. We talk several days, okay, what you doing? How did you do that? And we're doing some of the same work. And we share the same things because you know what?
Yes.
There are a billion people in the world, billions of people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, someone's going to be doing the same thing you're doing or writing
Yep.
similar books, but it's okay. There are many readers out there. Your
Yes,
people are your people. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Just go and do the thing. Just do it.
just
Find
do it.
your plan, find your purpose, the thing you like to do. Write that book. Get it done. Get it done. Yes, you can.
She just told y'all what to do. I don't know. I don't have anything else to add to that because the instructions were clear. So if you need to watch this again, just scoot back a little bit in the audio, in the video, listen to her instructions again, and then execute. Simple
Execute.
as
That's
that.
my word. Execute. That's it.
Dr. Sheila, people want to get in contact with you. How would they go about doing that?
They can go to my website, drsheila.thomas.com. And on my website, you can register to take my course, Raising Brilliant Black and Brown Boys. You can also contact me through my website. I have a contact form out there. If you're a PTO president or counselor or superintendent or principal and you want me in your and you know you need me in your schools to talk to these parents to help bridge the gap, send me a contact or send me an email. My email address is out there too, Dr. Sheila. Thomas. No, Dr. Sheila Thomas at drsheila.thomas.com.
Yep.
Just send me a quick email. Also, I'm sorry.
Did your son come back?
No, yes, he's doing. But anyway, so and my books are also available on Amazon and all of those other Books a Million, Target, all of those places. It's available. But my website is the best place to reach me, and I'm very responsive to email. So I look forward to hearing from someone. Go ahead and join this course so you can make sure your boy ensure that he is successful in school, your boys or your girls. I'm here to support all parents, especially black and brown boys.
So I don't want anybody to say, how do I get in contact with Dr. Sheila? Her website, drsheila.thomas.com.
Simple.
Really simple.
Simple. Sheila. Sheila. Okay.
Sheila. Very easy, very simple. Contact her. Get these books. I actually want to order weight. So before, after, don't disconnect because I want to get I want to order that book. So you guys, this has been an amazing time. And I hope that the gems that Dr. Sheila dropped, you have picked up and put in your crown. Okay, whether you're a male author or female author, these gems you can pick up and put in your crown. Okay, whatever it is that you want to do with your book, do it. You are an expert. There's nothing stopping you but you. Take that step to getting your book done. And then once you take that step, think about the next one to see what else you can do with your book. Reach out to those schools, reach out to this, reach out to that. Start. I love Clubhouse. I'm loving Clubhouse now. Let's do a Clubhouse room based on the theme of your book.
Mhm. I didn't mention that. So I do have a
You have
clubhouse
Clubhouse?
room. I have
Okay.
two.
Yes, let us know your Clubhouse because I love Clubhouse, so I'll be on there.
Yeah, I have on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. I have a room titled "Raising Black and Brown Boys," and
Look,
we talk about everything to support parents. You know, parenting styles, building your child's confidence was last week. It was amazing. We have great conversations about an hour long, and and at the end, I let everyone pitch whatever service or products they have
yeah,
too. And then also I have another room called Waiting, and it's based on my book, Women Anticipating.
exactly. There you go. And what's your name on Clubhouse? Is it Dr. Sheila Thomas?
Yes. Yes.
See, I'm gonna find you on Clubhouse. This is how you do it. You just take your book and you can branch off to other things. All right, authors. So there are no excuses at all. All right. We're gonna debunk every excuse this year. So as you progress through your entrepreneur journey, you can come back, listen to the audio, listen to the videos, and or watch the videos and say, there's more that I can do with this book. I remember Dr. Sheila. Let me go visit, watch the video, listen to the audio, and then go visit her website again or for the first time and see what she can do to help me. Listen, it's the time, author. This is the time to get your books done. No more excuses, all right?
Right.
So that is all we have for today. Dr. Sheila, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. Like, we love chatting with Black authors because it's more than just that. Okay. You guys, you can find us on Facebook at rock BAA 2015, as well as on Instagram at rock_BAA, and on our YouTube channel, which is under the Rochester Black Authors Association. And we are also on Spotify under Black Authors Rock. So you have ways to get in contact with us. You can connect with us. We want to hear from you, authors. If there's any questions that you have, don't be afraid to reach out. That's what we're here for. I am Ebony Nicole, the Vice President of the Rochester Black Authors Association. And once again, thank you for joining us for Black Authors Rock podcast. Have a good one, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Have a good